We're with David Shapiro. David is a criminal defense attorney in San Diego, California. He's agreed to answer an online question that was posted. Well, this question specifically is, what is the difference between a misdemeanor and a felony? So let me get right into the question, David. The question was from James. He says, I was at a bar last month when a scuffle broke out behind me. I shoved one of the people involved to get him away from me. He fell down and may have broken his arm. I was arrested and charged with misdemeanor assault. But one of the cops said, depending on how bad the guy was hurt, I might be charged with a felony. What is the difference?
Okay, James. Well, first off, let's talk about the basic difference between a misdemeanor and a felony. A misdemeanor is a crime, a criminal offense in California, or in many states, or in all states for that matter, punishable in California up to 364 days in jail, basically up to 1 year in jail is the maximum amount of time and the maximum amount of punishment you could receive for a misdemeanor. For a felony offense, you could get more than a year, up to life without the possibility of parole in state prison, depending on the felony charge. And it's obviously significantly greater punishment as well as collateral consequences as well. If you're convicted of a felony, you lose your ability to bear the right to bear arms, your firearms. You can't own a gun or possess a gun or ammunition, that type of stuff. There's immigration consequences. It's all the main things. But the main difference is, a felony, you could get more than a year in jail. A misdemeanor is capped at 1 year in jail. Now, specifically looking at your question and trying to answer your question, assault are one of those offenses in California that's known as a wobbler. And what a wobbler is are certain offenses that can be charged as misdemeanors or as felonies. Okay, assault in general could be charged as a misdemeanor or as a felony. Based on your question, it seems like there was an altercation in a bar and you were arrested on misdemeanor assault. Okay, probably misdemeanor assault by force likely to cause great bodily injury. Now, that could be filed by the district attorney's office or the city attorney's office as a misdemeanor, or it could be filed as a felony. The main factor usually is in these bar fights or physical altercations without involving weapons. The main issue is what the extent of the injuries of the alleged victim. Okay, so if you are alleged to have hit somebody and they have, a couple of black and blues on their face, probably not looking at a felony charge. Now, if you have a really bad record, the DA might charge it as a felony for a number of reasons, sort of to strengthen their position in negotiating the case. But you're probably looking more towards the line of a misdemeanor charge. A felony charge is more consistent if it's a serious injury, or if the conduct is more than just one quick push or one quick shove or slap or that type of stuff. If it's repeated blows to the head, if it's a fist fight, if you're alleged to be kicking somebody, those are the cases we usually see filed as a felony, whether or not there is actually great bodily injury. Now, on that same mention, if you're dealing with felony charges, felony assault, and the person is alleged to have suffered great bodily injury, something more than a minor or temporary injury, then you're looking, not only are you looking at a felony charge, you're also looking at an enhancement for great bodily injury, which could carry an additional 3 years in state prison. So if you're in a bar fight and you're alleged to have beat up somebody and you say you break their orbital bone or something like that, you could be charged with felony assault, which in and of itself could carry up to 4 years in state prison if you're convicted. And then if it's alleged and proven that that person had suffered great bodily injury and that you personally inflicted that great bodily injury, you could be looking at an additional 3 years for a total term of up to 7 years in state prison. So, the differences between felonies and misdemeanors are great. And then once you clear that felony threshold, then you're dealing with great bodily injury enhancements and all those types of things that make California sentencing very complicated for a lot of attorneys, let alone, someone in your position who presumably has not been through the system before.
Excellent. Well, James, hopes that answers your question. If you have any additional questions for David, just simply post them in the comments section below, and he's agreed to get back to you with answers. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, my pleasure. Like you said, any questions you have, feel free to contact me via the comment section or at my office, 619-295-3555.
Thank you.